was substantially implemented by Bayelsa, Kogi, Abia, Taraba, Imo, Sokoto, Ebonyi, Nasarawa, Enugu, Bauchi, and Oyo, as well as others. You are watching the Transition on Atlantic Television Network. We return after this break. Welcome back. This is the Transition on Atlantic Television Network. Now the rest of our stories. President Bola Tinubu has approved takeoff of 6 out of 14 public universities established in the twilight of the Muhammadu Buhari administration. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tahir Mamman, said the choices of the universities were segmented as 2 colleges of agriculture, education, and medicine each, and was strategic to the skills acquisition needs of the Tinubu-led administration. The Buhari administration approved the establishment of no fewer than 75 universities encompassing federal, state, and private institutions within 7 years, while other universities established at the end of the administrations are David Nweze Umahi Federal University of Medical Sciences, Uru, Ebonyi State, Federal University of Transport, Daura, Katsina State, Shehu Shagari University of Education, Sokoto State, and Admiralty University, Ibusa, Delta State. However, Mamman said the federal government lacked the funds to kickstart all the institutions at once, as they were capital intensive and the Tinubu administration would be conservative in doling out approvals for establishing new universities. Bola Tinubu has extended warm greetings to former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, on his 89th birthday. Tinubu's congratulatory message was contained in a statement signed by his special advisor, Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelali. President Tinubu celebrates former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, at 89 and commended him for the love and passion for Nigeria, as well as his determination to see into manifest the unique gift and combined strength of all Nigerians, irrespective of faith, tribe, or any other difference, which has remained a pace-setting attribute of leadership that all present and future Nigerian leaders must emulate. Senate has confirmed the nomination of Ola Olukoyede as the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and Mohammed Hassan Amajoda as its secretary. The upper chamber on Wednesday also confirmed the appointment of Mrs. Halima Shehu as the National Coordinator and Chief Executive Officer, National Social Investment Program Agency.
During the screening, Senator Ali Ndume request for clarification on the establishment of the NFI, which the nominee explained that the provisions of the establishment has been repealed by the Commission, promising to do its possible best with respect to the provisions of the law. He also commented on the synergy between ICP and FCC. He said, if given the opportunity to lead the Commission, it will augment resources on the same investigation done by ICPC.
for non-compliance as one of the 23 countries that are non-compliant. You know that better than myself. Now that we are in there, and FIU is established, would this was in the EFCC Establishment Act? Don't you see conflict there?
Discriminate. And the question is, okay, of course, there's no way you will not pick people who find people who have committed crime and all of that, financial crimes. This is where equity and justice comes in. So you will not be seen as chasing a particular section or, send that, signal across. You are always chasing a particular people. And that's where we are going to balance the whole thing. A kind of working relationship between ICPC and FCC so that we'll be able to look. If ICPC is investigating someone using Nigeria taxpayer money, why should dissipate energy and resources to investigate if perhaps it's the facts are similar? I don't think that's going to be the interest of
screening. Senator Victor Ume queried the past office of Mrs. Halima Shehu for the shipment of 5,000 naira to 2 million households across 613 local governments. Senator Ume asked the nominee to explain why the intervention did not cover the whole 774 local governments, leaving 116 out and 8 area councils in the FCT. In her response, Ms. Halima Shehu explained that the social investment program were in 4 stages and each targets a different stage of group.
You had in your last appointment the duties to deliver 5,000 naira by monthly targeted cash transfer to 2 million homes across 613 local governments in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. When I saw that, I knew that Nigeria has 774 local governments. So I did the calculation and saw that 161 local governments were not covered in their duties.
I would like to let you know that in the 4 programs, in the social investment programs, each target a different kind of group. And I'll start by the conditional cash transfer program. It targets the poorest of the poor in the remotest of locations.
The nominees were thereafter confirmed by the Senate President.
Will the Senate approve the nomination of Mr. Ola Olukoyede for appointment as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Senate has adjourned plenary till next week Tuesday. Also, the Senate President announced his absence for him to attend the Assembly of International Parliamentary Union, which will start on Monday, the 23rd of October. The Deputy Senate President is expected to preside over plenary from Tuesday next week. From the National Assembly, Abuja, Rotimi Adewi, ATN News.
And now to some business reports. Chinese government has expressed its commitment to make investment and complete the Abuja-Kano and Port Harcourt-Maiduguri railway projects. A statement signed by the Vice President's Senior Special Assistant on Media and Communications, Stanley Wokuch, said President of People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, pledged while responding to requests by President Bola Tinubu, who was represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima at a bilateral meeting with the Chinese leader in Beijing. The statement was titled a Third Belt and Road Initiative Forum. China commits to refinancing, completing Abuja-Kano, Port Harcourt-Maiduguri railways, and since the launch of the project, China has yet to release funds for the 2 major railway projects in Nigeria. Largely due to cutbacks and commitments, this is coming after China had agreed to provide 85% financing for the construction of the Abuja-Kano and Port Harcourt-Maiduguri railway projects, while Nigeria, which had the duty of paying the balance of 15%, paid its part of the funding from the inception of the project through appropriations. The Chinese president, who received the Nigerian delegation led by Vice President Shettima at the People's Building in China, pledged increased investment in Nigeria's power generation and digital economy, while calling for the protection of Chinese nationals working in Nigeria, while ensuring that the Nigeria-China bilateral relation was stronger than before. And he promised that China would enhance political support and build cooperation in all fields. He also appreciated Nigeria's support of the One China policy. You are watching the Transition and Atlantic Television Network. Still ahead on International Tidbits. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has arrived in Israel and holding talks with Israeli leaders and is expected to visit other countries in the region on arrival. He condemns the horrific acts of terrorism by Hamas on 7th October and says the United Kingdom stands with Israel. Israel's military army says it hits hundreds of sites in Gaza over the past 24 hours, targeting Hamas infrastructure, while Gaza remains under siege, with Israel blocking cross-border supplies of water, electricity, and fuel. But the United States and Egypt say lorries providing aid are preparing to start crossing from Egypt into Gaza. Joe Biden is back in the United States, and a short visit to Israel was overshadowed by a blast at a Gaza hospital, which local officials say killed 471 people, a figure contested by Israel, while Palestinian authorities say an Israeli airstrike was to blame. But Israel insists the blast was caused by a misfired rocket from Gaza. The United States has supported sanctions on Venezuela after the South American country's government and opposition agreed to have next year's election monitored by international observers. Sanctions will be eased on Venezuela's oil, gas, and gold sectors, and the next election in Venezuela has been scheduled for the second half of the next year, while other sanctions imposed over the suppression of protests and erosion of democracy remain in place. Washington has cautioned that the relaxation could be reversed if the electoral pact collapses, and there is a new general license issued by the United States Treasury Department authorized Venezuela, which had been under hefty sanctions since 2019, to produce and export oil to its chosen markets for the next 6 months, but no time limit has been specified regarding the gold sector. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the United States warned Venezuela that they must define a specific timeline and process for the expedited reinstatement of all candidates by the end of November, while calling for the release of all wrongfully detained United States nationals and Venezuelan political prisoners. The deal between the Venezuelan government and opposition and the agreement contains 12 points, which includes promises to give all candidates access to public and private media and to guarantee their free and safe movement throughout the country. While the two sides have also agreed to update the voter registries, both inside and outside of the country, in order to ensure that the millions of Venezuelans who have emigrated can exercise their right to vote. But the two opposition and government disagree on whether the agreement allows for the exclusion of opposition frontrunner Maria Corina Machado. And now to entertainment. Lagos State Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu on Wednesday performed the groundbreaking of $100 million Film City sited in Ejirin, Epe local government area of the state, saying that the proposed Lagos Film City would amplify the voices of the country's diverse communities and showcase the industry on a global scale. Sanwo-Olu stated this while speaking at the event, pointing out that the Film City, covering a land area of 100 hectares of land tagged Lagos Film City, which is proposed to be the biggest in Africa, would enhance the economic growth and cultural development of Lagos State. He said the project is a private-public partnership towards creating a thriving and vibrant film industry that will captivate audiences worldwide, adding that his administration had, with the move, embarked on a journey that would redefine the landscape on the film industry in Lagos State. While the Film City will be a testament to the commitment of nurturing the arts and supporting the dreams of aspiring filmmakers, actors, and technicians. According to the governor, the film industry has the power to transcend boundaries and bring people together, saying that it has the ability to inspire, entertain, and educate, besides creating numerous job opportunities, stimulate economic growth, and attract investment. Governor Sanwo-Olu therefore called on all stakeholders, including filmmakers, investors, educators, and the community at large, to join hands and contribute towards the success of this film city, saying that they should join hands with the state government to build an ecosystem that nurtures creativity, fosters collaboration, and empowers our artists to push the boundaries of their craft, and equally urged the host community to give all the necessary cooperation and support to the contractors and all the people who would be working on the site to make this project a reality. The State Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Mrs. Toki Benton Awoyinka, in a remark, noted that the creative, entertainment and tourism sectors had contributed exponentially to all economies that took decisive steps to court and nurture it, saying that justified the step being taken by the government at the occasion. That's the size of the package. Thanks for joining us. I am Valentina Lawrence. You can follow us on all our social media platforms at Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram, Atlantic TV Network. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress.